Congratulations on the win. What are your thoughts on the performance? One that means you qualify automatically.
I think we control very well the game. We had more possession. Of course, we have to understand the opponent. He's not, with all due respect, he's not the same level as Premier League. So we have more time to think, to connect the plays, and I think Kobbie in that position played very well, with more freedom, with not so much responsibility running back all the time. And I think the lads did a good job, clean sheet again, create some chances. We have to score more goals because today we had the opportunities, but in the end we made some rotation. We took 2 games from the schedule. It was a good day for us.
The only thing you didn't mention, Ruben, is the key and decisive substitutions at half-time. Did they change the game?
No, not entirely the game, but again, I already spoke about that. In the first half, they run a lot to cover all the spaces, and then you feel it that in the second half, the opponent also get tired, and it's easy for the guys that come in. But of course, Garner has a different pace. In this more like a forward, a winger is different from Chris that was playing in that position. Ahmad is really good on 1-against-1 and can push players to defend with them, open more space. So was a good work from everybody.
Yeah. Did the goals represent a sort of style of football that you're looking to introduce at Man United?
Of course, we want to improve a lot the way we play. We want to play a little bit more closer than today, but again, we need to play like this against an opponent with more pressure, with different pace, with more quality on the ball. So we have to adapt to improve the team.
3 wins in a row. Does it start to feel like you're gaining some momentum now?
It depends. The most important thing is not the 3 that we won, is the next one. So let's focus. It's Sunday. We will arrive tomorrow, so we have 1 day to prepare. We have to recover the players. We are going to sleep here to work in the morning, so we are trying everything to recover the players and then to be competitive.
And how pleased are you to have a less busy schedule in February?
That is the biggest thing. More than the win is to have time to train, to have time to recover the players for playing Premier League. That is a key point for us.
Thank you, Ruben.
Thank you very much.
And Garnacho made a huge difference to the side. They dominated the ball. They really dominated the game. But the first half, they didn't really look like they were going to score. Second half, they looked really dangerous. I thought the attacking players, everybody looked way more dangerous. And they deserved the win. They were the much better side.
Yeah, the subs changed the game, didn't they, Robbie, at half-time?
Yeah, they did, and it's amazing. I think Garnacho, I don't think he's a 10. Listen, he played as a 10, but he drifted out wide. I think Garnacho's best when he can run at the opposition. I don't think he's at his best when he's got his back to goal. So I like to see him on the left, but he's not a wing-back. You know, and Kobbie Mainoo as a 10, I think that's his best position personally. You know, Owen might disagree, but I think, you know, in those tight areas as a 10, that's where I think he's at his best. So, again, I think he's solving the problems 3 in a row, as Lucy said in commentary, and his positivity for Manchester United. It was a good second half. Yeah, it was. Mainoo involved in both of the goals, Owen. What did you like about his performance tonight? Yeah, and think because Eriksen and Bruno were playing a bit deeper, it allowed Kobbie to release and get further forward. And I said at half-time, just play the ball in there. Just put it in. You know, Kobbie does a brilliant job of putting it into an area, and Dalot gets a tap in. You know, obviously you need players to be in the back post. Dalot does brilliantly. Kobbie releases it. How about this for Garnacho? Well, he was brilliant when he come on, and Kobbie he learned from the first one and just passed it into the goal. But again, look at where Garnacho is. He's on the left-hand side running towards the goal, and he's got pace. I think pace is a leveller. Ahmad's pace, Garnacho's pace. I think when they're running at teams, they're a threat. And I think Kobbie is that 10. You know, I don't think he's a 6 in this Manchester United team. And the argument is he a 10? Is he creative enough to be a 10? Is he defensively minded enough to be a 6? I think he has to play in a 3. Obviously, Manchester United don't play that. You know, he's probably an 8. But he almost played in a 3 today, didn't he? Yeah, he did, because Garnacho kept going out to that left-hand side. I think Kobbie Mainoo, for me, is a 10 in that team. But listen, he can play as a 6, of course he can. I think in tighter areas, he's really good. And he's seen the run in the first half when he had the volley. He had the chance over the bar. He's created a goal. He scored a goal. So it's I thought Kobbie Mainoo was brilliant tonight. Just looking at the table that's on screen, guys, confirmation there. Manchester United finishing in 3rd place. Tottenham just below them. They won tonight.
So did Rangers as well, and that means that they're actually finishing in the automatic qualification spots as well. So all the British sides involved in the final night of the Europa League phase this evening, all winning and all going through in one of those automatic spots. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Really, I mean, amazing for Rangers. To be fair, that's going to be a tough place to, for a knockout game. And I think for United, they did the job. They need to look. They can win this competition. Tottenham can do the same as well. So could completely change their season, get them into the Champions League. That's
what we were saying earlier, wasn't it, Robbie? This has to be a priority for United now.
Yeah, it is, and they've got those 2 free weeks now where Ruben Amorim can work on the training ground. Listen, it's a real positive result for Manchester United and for Spurs. Spurs with the youngsters scoring tonight as well. So seeing Big Ange smile tonight was nice as well. So again, it's a good night for British clubs.
And yet, the man off the bench tonight, Kobbie Mainoo, scored and made one. Let's hear from him post-match with Jeff Brazier.
Kobbie, what are your thoughts on a winning performance?
Yeah, I mean, definitely tough game as we expected. Tough place to come. The atmosphere was really good, and yes, right now it's just important to keep on winning. More and more wins, and in this tournament we want to go as far as possible. So yeah, this is how it starts.
We saw you in a more advanced role today. The manager said he was certainly very happy with your performance. How was it for you?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm just happy to be on the pitch for Manchester United, but yeah, wherever the manager needs me to play. Today it was higher up, and yeah, it turned out well, and I enjoyed it.
Talk us through your finish. You must be pleased with that.
Yeah, I'm more annoyed that I missed the one in the first half, but managed to get the one in the second, but I would have been happy with 2.
And is it a relief to not have to play those 2 extra games in February?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of games at the moment, and there has been over December and January, so anywhere we can get rest is important. So, yeah.
Kobbie, thank you.
Thank you.
3 wins on the spin. Best run of the season, Don.
Playing well. And he speaks well as well. I think he's very honest. Sometimes they're too honest, but you get the feeling when he talks and when he sees what he's seeing inside Manchester United and at Carrington, you know what he's saying is for the best and it's for the greater good of the club. And they started the campaign quite trickily, didn't they? They drew the first 3 games. It was a little bit of a shambles at times, but they won the last 5. They need to come out of that in terms of the Premier League. The Premier League form's still not amazing, so they got a good 1-0 win against Fulham that you probably will never want to watch again, but they got the clean sheet and the 3 points. But they have to now try and kick on, because sitting in the bottom half of the table, them and Tottenham should never ever be there.
Well, no, and really, given that league position that they're both in, isn't this all the more of a priority? Isn't this their chance?
Yeah, I mean, I always think English clubs should be winning this competition by dint of the fact that the Premier League is so wealthier than the other leagues that when we talk about Europe's top 5 leagues, we need to stop doing that, because the Premier League is out on its own. And I think with particularly with United, the amount of investment that's gone into United, the fact that they're all of a sudden in the last couple of years having to think about PSR, when we always used to just think, United, richest club in the world in terms of revenue, commercial, and they've spent it, and got nowhere with it. But nevertheless, they should still be the favourite for this competition. I think it's a failure if they don't win this competition. It sounds crazy to say that at this early stage. But, Jose went and won this competition.
I wouldn't fancy them with a full-strength Tottenham side. No. I wouldn't trust Man United with a full-strength Tottenham side.
Spurs, who they can't meet, actually, the way the draw has worked out, they can't meet till the final now.
I think fully fit Spurs got more about them.
Yeah. With Spurs with everybody fit and firing?
Yeah.
Got a bit more than Man United?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
they proved that at Old Trafford.
The fact is, you say Spurs all fit and firing. I mean, the team that's beaten the pre-season Elfsborg side tonight, Spurs, is the Tottenham elite development team, isn't it? With those kids. Yeah. So, who's going to be left in May?
I just think when I look at it, if you're gauging it on which club do you think needs the more drastic surgery in terms of players in, players out, it's Man United. Spurs are not a million miles away. Once everyone's fit, they're not a million miles away.
So, you bang on. Spurs and Manchester United, anything less than getting to the final of this tournament with the teams left, I don't think is good. I think Tottenham will come back and I think it's been a great finish to the season for them. I think what we could do, and you're right, the Premier League is streets ahead in terms of how strong it is compared to the other leagues. When we get to the knockout stages, I remember playing in France, and when you played in Europe in France, they moved your fixtures around to try and help their teams. Yeah. I think that would help benefit, because say Manchester United, they play on a Thursday night. they might have to go to Brighton on Sunday at 12. Do you know what I mean? Or to Brentford. And it is all these other Galatasaray, Besiktas, they're going to somewhere in Turkey where they can play at 75% and win. And as the months and months, the Dutch do it well. And as the months accumulate, the intensity of our league actually can be detrimental in the backstage. So clearly now we're looking at it at the turn of the year. Manchester United and Tottenham are the best teams left in this competition, in my opinion. You can argue maybe the Turkish sides might have a say. You know, Galatasaray,
one of Man United's possible opponents as well as Tottenham's.
You know, on paper, you might say that, but I think, you know, Chelsea certainly have to get to the Conference League final and win that. And I think the two other British clubs, you know, with a little bit of help domestically around like this fixturing and scheduling, because we want our teams at the back end of this. You know, we know we're the strongest league because we've got the most money and we drive that side of it. But it's so intense. We could have helped ourselves to help Manchester United, help Tottenham get to the back end, and it'll eventually all come back and help our league.
Thing is, I mean, my argument was it's like economic. You know, but in that Premier League teams are so rich that they can have the squad depth. That the teams that maybe their leagues help with their fixtures, they don't have that squad depth. You look at that bench that United have got tonight: Onana, 50 million; Lindelof, Harry Maguire, most expensive centre back of all time. You know, Zirkzee, okay, 45 million, that was a buyout clause. Diallo, teenager, 17, 35 million they spent when he was at Atlanta. Casemiro, highest paid player probably in the Premier League. On the bench for United tonight. They, on that basis alone, they should be winning this competition.
And yet they lent on.
Money doesn't make you smart.
No, it doesn't. Nor does it rest your legs.
You say that when you're in contract.
True.